hear me?
Yo,
Can you hear me?
I can.
Man,
Feels like it's been like 6 months since we last played.
definitely feels a lot longer this time.
February's just always crazy busy at my work, so it feels like it's been twice as long as it really has.
I don't do shit all day because I telework still. And days are dragging.
We have all of our like corporate offsites happen in February, and since we're not doing them in person this year, instead of like having a day with a few meetings and like big meals and a happy hour early and like a lot of socialization, it's just like a 6-hour phone call that starts at 6 a.m. followed by another 5 hours of goddamn meetings. Like this is so much worse.
Yep, they know how to do that. I feel like I don't know why
It's so crushing.
they always take a semi crappy thing and make it even worse.
I never thought I would be excited to one day travel again.
Yeah. That's part of my problem. My job is to travel, so if I'm not traveling, I literally don't do anything. Like, teleworking is basically just saying I'm still alive. I didn't do something else.
Oh, that sucks.
Still ready to travel. See you tomorrow, or text you tomorrow. I think it was last week or the week before. All my annual training came up too, so I had to do all. I just sit in front of a computer, do the computer-based training for 8 hours straight. It's great.
I hate those. They're never good, and the ones that you have to take like every single year somehow manage to get worse. I don't understand.
Problem is they don't change. So I know all the answers, know what's coming up. I literally just click through it as fast as I can and just answer those questions on the test.
Oh, that's better. They reinvest in ours every year, so they make them different, and they embed videos, and they ask like weirdly specific questions about diction instead of meaning, and it's terrible.
Oh, okay. The hours go like they'll do like small questions throughout the set, like the training, and as long as you get the questions right, it doesn't make you go through every single part. You'll just skip to the next chapter. So you just remember everything. It's been the same test probably for 8 years now.
Boys and
Highly
girls.
rewarding.
Hi. How's everyone doing? Can you guys hear me? Nope, you cannot. Interesting. Hello, hello.
I can hear you now.
Okay. Thought I broke it.
Levels.
No, I do not want to upgrade that right now.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Alright, you guys don't hear any feedback on my end, do you?
No.
No, you sound fine.
No.
Okay. Well, let's jump into it, shall we? Is everybody here?
Mm-hmm.
Think so. Hope everyone had a good bit of time off.
Just forever.
It has been forever. Well, the last we left off, a group of adventurers were knee-deep in the middle of investigating the fireball incident that occurred right outside your home. Immediately rushing out into the scene, you were met with charred remains of almost a dozen or so individuals, shouts of fear and confusion surrounding you. Shortly after, you were all met by the city watch and city guard who closed down the area to assess the situation. During this time, you managed to speak with the proprietor of the garden across the street from you. They mentioned a suspicious character that hobbled off down Trollskull Alley. In hot pursuit, you rushed in that direction and stumbled upon a sewer entrance, where you then ventured down and through an attempt to follow the suspicious person that fled off this way. You came across a collapsed alcove and fought while Tizio managed to just barely survive without being eaten alive. Seemingly at a dead end, you all exited back into the streets and decided to speak with Davil Starsong at the Yawning Portal to inquire if he knew anything about the Zentarum attacks near your home. Davil, according to Yagra, was missing in action, and upon further conversation, she recalled a similar incident where the House of Inspired Hands in the Sea Ward showcased puppets without strings during the Day of Wonders festival in Waterdeep. So, deciding to venture there yourselves, you came across a priestess of Gond, a bronze dragonborn named Valletta, and also discovered a Nimblewright named Nim, who couldn't speak. After learning he created his own Nimblewright to ease his loneliness, the group discovered that Nim's creation escaped roughly a month or so ago. Nim then gifted you with a Nimblewright detector, a magical contraption of Nim's creation that supposedly sought out other Nimblewrights as he learned he could not leave the premises himself. Valletta offered the group of you 500 dragons to destroy this creation and provide proof of its destruction. While all this was happening, Perry and Ellis tried to speak with Vincent Trench, but he didn't appear to be home. You all reconvened back at Trollskull Manor that afternoon, attempting to formulate a plan, while Fluna just showed up to get ready for another night. Talum recommended a trip to the City of the Dead to look up an old statue and the supposed address of a mysterious Zion. During your time within its grounds, you located the statue of Agharon, and after a small bit of magic, Perry witnessed some strange flash from the statue's eyelids, but nothing else seemed to work. And so we start back off a little bit later in the day, as you guys are currently now within the City of the Dead, looking at Agharon's statue. What do you guys wish to do?
And if I recall, we tried most things. Couldn't get anything else to trigger.
Weren't we going to do like an identify spell or something?
I believe you were casting Identify, yeah.
Okay. So you take some time to set up the material components and start the ritual process of casting Identify. Upon completion of the spell, you focus your presence on the statue itself, and it does not seem to be anything other than a statue, from what you can tell. The statue itself is about maybe 8 or 9 feet tall, looking out towards the western coastline of the city. It stands atop a large pillar of marble or stone.
Does
Oh.
it look like those other thingies that were statues that were around the city, but in weird spots?
The No, it wasn't that large. The
Oh,
ones in the city, like the Hawkman or the Great Drunkard or the Sword Maiden, those things are like towering like 20, 40 feet in the air.
Don't suppose you have any code words, incantations, secret languages?
nope. I mean, I have a book that he gave me. I'll look at that real quick.
Was there any like words on the statue at all anywhere?
There was an inscription. I have to pull that back up. I'll have to pull that back up. But basically, it was a statement that Agaron had made a long time back regarding Waterdeep itself. I'll have to pull it up.
Tizio's just gonna go up to it and kind of knock as if it was like just a door, and hello, anyone in there?
Okay. You hammer on it with your fists. It seems extremely solid and intact. Doesn't resonate with any kind of like sense of hollowness or anything to it. Inscribed on the front of the statue is a statement that says, "There shall come a time when our city and its deep water bay shall grow in fame and fortune across many realms and many worlds. Folks shall know of Waterdeep, our city of splendors, and sing its praises. I have seen it thus, and I endeavor to make it true." Talum, as you pull out the old leather-bound tome that your master had previously given you, uh, while within the first couple of pages are some basic notes that you have always been able to understand and read, um, as you start kind of just like flipping through the familiar pages that you are able to read and looking at the other ones that you know that seem to just be, what's the right word, beyond your comprehension or able to grasp, you do notice that at the back of the tome there is a what appears to be a slightly glowing amber sigil that is now burning or glowing like faint amber on the back. It was definitely not there before. Um, the front and the back of the tome were just leather with no inscriptions or anything like that.
Okay. Sorry, my push to talk wasn't pressed, so I was saying things. So that's conjuration magic, probably. I don't really know what to do about that. There's this sigil. Any ideas, guys?
Any chance any of us recognize it?
If you're proficient with Arcana, you can make an Arcana check.
I am not proficient.
I didn't know Ellis was. That's awesome. Okay. Uh, I mean, Ellis, you're looking at it and you're like, yeah, I know magic when I see magic, and that looks like magic. Um, Talum, I would say, I mean, you understand that the school of conjuration deals with, creating objects or creatures, making things disappear or summon them. Um, you would know that it's interesting because conjuration was not your mentor's primary school of magic, and so it's interesting to see this symbol etched into the back of his book. And the first thing that comes to your mind is like, well, was he attempting to summon something? Is there something greater than this? But you kind of brush your hand along the back of the sigil, and while it still glows faintly, it doesn't feel like a brand or any kind of marking. The leather itself feels very smooth.
I mean, I guess I'll cast like, can I try to cast like a conjuration spell into it or something?
Into the book?
Sure.
What do you cast?
Well, it can't really target things, but I have web and misty step, so those.
Okay, so
Probably
which one?
web. Why not?
Okay. Hmm.
Should have
Go,
Misty stepped into the book.
go ahead. Go ahead and make another Arcana check for me. Okay. You you take a moment to try to channel arcane energy of this conjuration spell, and while not casting the spell fully itself, you try to redirect that energy to just flow through the book into the book itself. And you do see that while the book's edges like slightly glow a little bit brighter, then they slowly start to subside, but the sigil remains. No change from what you can see.
Well, maybe touch it to the statue. That's my last guess.
Sure, yeah, you set the book on top of the statue. No change.
Well, this was progress, I guess.
So there was like some foreign language on the sigil.
No, the sigil itself is just a marking, and although you guys wouldn't recognize it too well, especially not being studied in arcane, Talon would be able to kind of say, like, this is one of the indicators of conjuration magic that he was taught from home. And Talon, you would know that, especially spending time here in Waterdeep, the bits of magic that you have seen, cast, or written down, it's the formulas and the somatic and verbal components that are usually cast with spells that you're familiar with. A lot of the people here on this part of the coast, they're not the same for you. It's slightly different, and you always thought of it as odd, but you do recall that your master at one point had said that the basis, the foundation of arcane magic that was taught back home was slightly different than that of the outlying areas.
Okay, so the spellcasting vocal components are different. Or like the fundamental, like the
The
way it works.
I guess the best way I can explain it, like with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I guess you could say everyone who was casting transmutation spells or whatever from Edward Elric and whatnot, they channeled energy from the outlying cities, but then there was that smaller region of like individuals who used a different type of transmutation ability to cast magic. It's slightly different. Like the you're drawing your arcane power from something else, not the same way that most people cast magic.
Oh, okay. See, I feel like the statue's too big to move.
Well, not necessarily move, but maybe like shift it over, like slide it over type of thing. Maybe there's an entrance or something underneath.
We haven't tried that. Actually. I can't push things. That's my strong suit.
Yeah. Harry and anybody else
You-
want to try? Yeah.
You need me to push something?
Harry will help you.
Okay.
Is this working?
Uh, Go ahead and make a strength check at advantage because Perry is assisting.
Who's making the check?
You.
Got it. All right. Did you say strength or athletics?
This would be. This could be athletic, sure.
Oh, you said at advantage.
I sure did. Go ahead and roll again. Okay.
21.
You are a very strong individual, and sizing up this statue, with it being completely made of stone and the base of it being almost either marble or stone itself, you're not entirely sure. This thing weighs at least a ton or two. You're not entirely sure of its exact weight, and you kind of dig in and press your shoulder up against the side of it, and you're pushing. It's not budging.
Yeah. Not today, boys. This one's a little out of my scope. I can punch it, and I might do some damage, but pushing it's a little harder.
Dallin, did you expect something to happen?
No, I really had no idea. We can just. I'm kind of stumped now. More stuff happened than I kind of expected. Now I have this glowing book.
The book is not glowing, just the sigil in the
Yeah,
back.
okay. I have a sigil on the back that's glowing on this book that wasn't before.
Does it the brightness go down or does it stop the further you get away from it?
You guys look at it, it's not glowing.
Oh, great.
What are you talking about?
There's a sigil on the back of this book that's glowing, at least for me.
Tizio's going to take a look at Talon's eyes and see if he's intoxicated.
Make an insight check. No, he seems to believe what he's saying.
Well, I don't see anything.
Well, that only makes this stranger.
Oh, do we have any more clues on where else to go?
I'm kind of stumped right now.
Is there anyone else around?
Make a perception check. Nice. So the sun is currently getting pretty close towards the coastline at this point. The with it getting close to dusk, you guys have been there for a decent amount of time, and you walk around and you can see that there are a few city guard that patrol the area. They haven't walked by you guys directly yet. You do see a few individuals here and there that small couples or individuals with their children just carrying bundles of bouquet or flowers or some sort of memorial piece that they are going to the different mausoleums and praying or just talking lightly amongst themselves. Nobody interesting catches your eye or anything like that, and people don't really seem to be paying you guys any mind at the moment.
Hmm. You said there was like a special kind of like glyphic spot on the statue, didn't you?
Are you asking the DM?
Yes, asking DM.
No. So what happened was Perry had climbed up onto the statue while everyone was fidgeting around the statue, and Talon had cast a spell, and Perry had managed to see something flash in its eyes. There's no arcane symbols or anything on the statue other than the paragraph that I had read off that's emblazoned on the front.
Uh, where is the statue looking?
The statue is currently looking to the west, out as if it were looking out to the ocean.
Can I get up to the statue's height and try and look exactly in the direction that the statue's eyes are looking?
Sure, make an acrobatics check. Statue's like 8, 9 feet tall, so nice. Okay, yeah. So you kind of hop up onto its back like piggyback style, and you kind of look out into the distance, and it's a great vantage point. This monument is already up on a bit of a rise, on a slight hill, and so as you get further up and you kind of just cheek to cheek with the statue, you kind of look out and you can see way out into the distance as the sun is starting to crest into its purples and oranges. You can see the shimmering blue waters of the Waterdeep harbor. Kind of scanning the horizon, you definitely see two of the larger stone statues that you guys have walked across before, like the God Catcher being up here, or maybe the Hawkman. These two ginormous statues that are just protruding out from the houses below. Definitely recognizable, and you can kind of assess where they're going, or at least where that location is, just based on how tall these statues are, and they're easily recognizable. Um, to the best you can tell, go ahead and make a perception check. Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful scene, and as you kind of look out and you kind of daze out for a moment, the best you can see is that it seems to be pointing towards the castle ward or beyond. You're not entirely sure.
Can I give him another reroll?
Yeah.
I went to grab a beer.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I was like, all right, we're going with this. You see Perry kind of throws a rock at you and you focus more. Go ahead and re-roll your perception check. Yeah. And as Perry kind of motivates you to focus, um, the best you can tell, the most prominent thing, if you're looking straight out from the statue, is Bagarian's Palace, which you guys all know is the palace for the Open Lord of Waterdeep, which is currently located here. And you guys have been to the front door there before.
Yeah, I got nothing, guys. We ain't looking to pocket of another statue across the way. I don't know what to tell you. I'll climb down.
Okay.
Disappointed.
Well, it was a very impressive climb.
It's... Yeah, it's... You guys are all smart, but I'm the one with the muscles.
Thanks for the help, Ellis.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, if we're done here, should we take our tiny umbrella for a walk?
Yeah. Sorry, this wasn't more exciting.
Maybe you need to be here by yourself. You can only see the signal.
Maybe.
You can only see what needs to happen.
You guys can head on. I'll catch up. Are you off about Cage's truthful?
It's getting late, right? That's what you said before.
It is, and you all recall that the city guard told you all do not be in here after dark.
Yes. We should leave.
Because things happen at night here.
Okay, wait. If someone told us not to be here after dark, I feel like it's a very obvious, like, maybe we should just be here till after dark.
Well,
Anyone else?
sure.
Do you think the statue will do something else at night?
Probably
If
not.
I know anything about magic statues, it's that they act differently when the sun goes down.
Yes, but Alice, do you know anything about magical statues?
I thought that's... Did you guys just hear me speak? Did my...
No, you cut out.
Oh, bloody hell. I said if I know anything about magical statues, it's that their power changes once the sun goes down.
Yeah, we got that. Ava responded, do you know anything about magical statues, though, Alice?
That's all I know. It's the correlation with sun. Guys, we should totally be here right now, or at least another few hours, just to see what happens.
Well, if you're gonna stay after dark, we probably shouldn't stay here alone. Maybe we can just go off to the side so you can see if anything changes by yourself. You can go hide over there.
Sure.
I'm sure nothing will eat you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what's the plan, guys?
I don't exactly know at this point.
Barry wants to go, like, we can go hide off behind, like, a little ways away. And just watch, see what happens.
Okay. And Talum, are you just staying in front of the statue?
Yeah, I guess I'll flip through the book one more time to make sure no text in it changed.
Okay. Currently, everything still looks the same other than what you've noticed, aside from the sigil. If you guys are trying to stay in the City of the Dead after closing hours, I need you all to make a stealth check. As now you guys can see that slowly out in the distance, maybe about 400 or 500 feet from you, there are about a dozen or so guards that are currently in the process of going from mausoleum to mausoleum, checking to make sure that the area is clear.
I really don't know if we should stay here after dark.
Doesn't look like we're going to.
You not have disadvantage? It does.
Oof.
I can't re-roll at disadvantage, right?
Well, I mean, you have the luck trait, so yeah, I mean, if it's the 1, you should be able to re-roll it, but the lower number would still be the 14, or if you got another lower number.
That's not what
So, 5. Okay. Okay, so, as you hear and see the chatter and commotion of the city guard, who are currently in the process of essentially clearing out to making sure that everyone's leaving for the evening. You all try to scatter and hide as best you can. Eva, you're out of sight. You feel pretty comfortable ducking up into a nearby tree. The rest of you are kind of looking around and... Okay, gotcha. And, yeah, Tizia, you managed to kind of clamber up onto the top of this two-story mausoleum, and you're just sticking low to the ground, but the rest of you are having a hard time just trying to find a good spot to hide, and you can see that now the guards are kind of looking over at you, and they have these lit torches as they're kind of approaching you, and they go, excuse me, gentlemen, need I remind you that the City of the Dead is closed after hours. Best not to dawdle. Please be on your way.
Yes, please. Just a few more minutes, if you don't mind.
Right, we can do so. And you watch as two of them stay there, while the rest of them continue on checking through the rest of the mausoleums. So they see Perry, Talum, Ellis, and Calarian as you guys just kind of stand there looking about.
All right. Yep, totally forgot your rules. Sorry about that. Guess we'll, head out now. My bad.
It's not our rule. It's for the safety of the citizens. There are still untouched magics here that have been known to cause harm to others, and it's best to not be here in the evening.
Are you saying the magic statues change at night?
No, there many portions of the City of the Dead have been pockmarked after the spell plague. We have tried best we might with our mages throughout the city, but they have been unable to subdue any of the pockets of malign magics that still reside. They seem to flare up the most at night.
Sounds like you were honest about Ellis.
And when the sun goes down, things get interesting. That's how life works.
Okay.
You guys ready to go? I don't have anything else to do here now, especially because it's dark.
Yep, by this time now, you can see the sconces and torchlights starting to slowly flicker to life throughout the city. The various smells of different cooked foods and things start to fill the air, especially because you guys are so close to the trades ward. You can see various different chimneys billowing out plumes of smoke and the like. But the sun is pretty far behind the coastline now, where it's kind of being blocked out, especially with Mount Waterdeep blocking that last bit of view. So it's getting pretty dark. But Eva and Tizio, you guys can see that the two guards are still standing there, watch over the four of them, just patiently waiting, kind of looking around.
Are you getting nervous?
The guards, make an insight check. So one appears to be a older human male, a bit of a scruffed beard, a little bit of salt pepper hair. The other one appears to be a younger male. You're not entirely sure what his race is. He seems to be wearing the full garb to include helmet of the city guard, and you can see that even though the two of them are still holding torches each in their hand, just kind of illuminating the space around you, he is constantly looking over his shoulder and looking around.
Must be quite some terrifying magic to get you on nerves end. What have you seen?
Oh, I've never been here after dark. I don't know. I've heard rumors. I'd rather not be here to find out. If you all are done, please let's move along, shall we? We have to lock the gates.
Yes. Harry was moving.
Yeah, I'm fine to leave.
Ava steps out from behind the tree. You know, it's exactly as you expected, Harry. There was nothing of any historical interest behind that tree.
You watch as the younger of the two, as he was talking to Perry and like looking over his shoulder, he immediately like pulls out this scimitar from his side. He just goes, "Who goes there?" He's like extremely like nervous and freaking out. The other guy just kind of looks at him side and goes, "Jaxel, shut the hell up already!" He kind of backhands him a little bit. He watches he drops his scimitar onto the ground with a clatter.
Little jumpy.
Say again.
Little jumpy.
It's he's new. I apologize. Let's just get the hell out of here, huh?
He needs some liquid courage.
If he was old enough, sure.
Oh, I'm good to go.
Okay. So you all kind of take your time and drag your feet a little bit, but you all are escorted back out to the front of the entrance gate where you guys were, right about there. And you watch as the two guards now that have kind of escorted the group of you out, unless Tizzy, are you following along, or are you still staying up on the roof?
No, I'm going along with them.
Okay.
Staying hidden, I guess, for the meantime.
Sure, you kind of skulk your way out through the shadows, managing to do so. And you watch now as the city guard, when they get the rest of you outside of the gate, you can hear them shout to two others who appear to be behind these large pulley systems, and you watch as they start pulling on these chains, and slowly but surely this large metal gate starts to shift from one side to the other before it locks in place, and you can hear the rustling of chains as they start to lock it in place.
Well, that's quite a door.
DM, how far away are we? The entrance that we're at to the statue.
Say maybe about 400 feet.
Okay. I don't know if you saw it. I put it in the text. I didn't want to interrupt you. I did a ritual alarm around the statue.
I did not see that. When did you do that?
It was before.
Before you stealthed or after?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it was before the stealth.
Sure. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So you have an alarm spell up for the next 8 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So I set up an alarm spell. If you guys want to hang out around, we can try and see if, since it should be empty in there, we can see if something happens around the statue. If I sense any movement.
We can try. Do you think it'll be anything useful?
How close do we have to stay?
Doesn't that take time?
Within a mile.
Doesn't it take time? They don't seem to want to wait around any longer.
He already set it up while you guys were doing other things. He just typed it in chat, so I didn't catch it. Which is totally fine. So the spell was already completed before it got too dark and he went to go hide. But
Yeah. So it's up to you guys.
Well, a mile gives us the run of the city. Still walk around with our little toy.
Yeah. We still have a lot of city to cover with the thing.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever.
okay. So what's the plan?
Away.
sounds like we want to stay within a mile of the city of the dead.
Well, so the entire length of the city, from what a quick Google search is, it says the entire length from the CI's march to the Cliff Watch is about 2 miles long in a straight line. So you guys can probably make it all the way back home and still be within the mile radius.
Do we want to take any detours to cover more space on the city, or
Yeah.
just head straight back?
I didn't catch what Perry said.
Might as well take it from the way we got here. Cover a little bit of ground.
Okay. So you guys are trying to head back to the tavern?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. What route are you taking?
Which way did we go last? We took a straight shot last time, didn't we?
I think we took the main road last time, so
Yeah, so maybe we'll
maybe
swing
go
it.
Yeah.
snake through the northward or something.
You want to snake through the northward?
Yeah. Cover
Okay.
some new
Agreed.
ground off the main road, I guess.
Sure. Okay. So whoever wants to lead the way, go ahead and roll me a D100.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, hold on a sec. I gotta look up something.
Oh no.
That's a worrying
The
reaction.
DM has to pull up an adult red dragon stat block.
That's
I
so
really
funny.
hope it's like a mimic or something.
No, it's just like, have you ever noticed how dice rolls seem to narrate stories so well?
Oh no.
Let's see. What is their modifier?
We don't need any modifiers.
Plus 16 to hit, I think.
Here, hold on, let me hide this roll real quick.
Here, we're on top of a dragon lair too, so you get the lair actions.
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, good, he rolled a nat 20. That's nice.
Nice roll.
And then no, that's okay, that's that. So, you all, who's carrying the nimble rate detector?
I believe it was Calarian.
All right. So, I'm trying so hard not to laugh. I'm sorry. No, it's good. It's good. It's good stuff. I love this story. I love telling it with you guys. So, spending a few moments watching the city guard lock up, and you can see now that along the entire border from where you guys stand, you can see that the city guard maintain a vigil, a very meticulous watch over the entrance to this place of rest for the dead. Maybe every 50 to 100 feet or so around the edges of the walls here, these 10-foot high, for lack of a better word, concrete or stone walls, you can see that there are torchlights just starting to come to life as the sun is now completely set. You guys start weaving your way through the northward, and as you do, you can hear the faint chatter of families recounting their stories for the day, or businesses that are still in the process of closing up for the evening. You can still see that there are a number of lively taverns that are open where people are coming in, and you can hear shouts and laughter and music. All seems extremely peaceful and normal on this early summer day here within Waterdeep, and as you guys proceed to the familiar streets closer to Troll Skull Alley, everybody go ahead and make a perception check, because why not? One, two, three, four, five. Who am I missing? Tizio. Nope, I got you already. Calarian.
Killer might still be AFK.
Well, a nat 20 could beat a nat 20, but that's fine. Yeah, you are clearly keeping watch as you guys are all kind of centered around this nimble right detector. And right, it doesn't mean that you automatically do anything, it just means that you got a 20. It's just funny that it was a natural 20. As you approach, if I recall correctly, oh, I forgot to pull up the other thingy thing. So sorry. Perfect. As you coast your way past the Sword Maiden, just enjoying a slight banter and things amongst yourselves, and as you guys make your way onto Serdune Street, which you all know eventually leads you over to Troll Skull Alley. Who's holding it again?
Clarion, I believe.
Oh, well, while Clarion's holding it, he's a bit amazed as the slowly whirling umbrella starts to pick up immediately and it starts to rotate faster and faster, and it starts to make a loud humming sound as you guys continue to get closer and closer towards here. Do you guys keep walking on?
I feel like we stopped.
I think we'd stop and try and figure out where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we got lucky.
Too lucky if you ask me. I'm known for lucky.
Clarion, move it around, walk around a bit, see if you can tell what direction it's coming from.
This is a wonderful time for him to be AFK. So, for surmising, let's say you guys take some time to try to, pinpoint the exact area. As you guys start traveling south or west or east, you gather that somewhere within, I'm just going to kind of freehand this because it's 500 feet. But you guys spend, how long do you guys spend searching, I should ask?
I mean, as long as it takes, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're in a
that's
rush.
We just keep going until we have a good idea of what's happening.
Okay. So we will say that you guys spend the next part of maybe an hour to hour and a half just kind of circling the block because you guys know it's a 500-foot radius. You gather that the strongest amount of signal you guys are getting, the largest response, is coming from here. And this appears to be a grand villa of sorts. It's large stone walls raised up to about 12 feet. You can see that there are pikes edged along the entire border of the complex. There's a magnificent looking courtyard within the interior from this maybe 15-foot tall gate that stands at the entrance of Serdune Street. You can see that it appears to be rather long, and then maybe about 2 stories at its height in one particular area. Tizio, make a history check. Okay. it takes you a few minutes, but you kind of look around and you try to look for any kind of sigils or anything that might identify what kind of home this belongs to. And then you remember that this is the estate of the Gralhund family. Or Gralhund family. I can't ever pronounce their name right.
Anyone know anything
Does
about
that,
this place?
yeah, does it sound familiar to anyone?
Uh, maybe only to you. Gralhund was a let's see, they are a noble house in Waterdeep since probably for the better part of the last 200 years. Their primary business includes contracting higher swords and manufacturing weapons. Let's see. Nope, you wouldn't know that. Yes. So they are a noble family here within Waterdeep, and they are a manufacturer of steel for weaponry and things like that. So they are known for their selling and shipment of various different types of swords. Let's see. I'm trying to look for the bits you guys would know. I would say you also would know that there was a point in their business career that they did try to shift from just the basic steels and irons to a more mithril based form of weaponry only, but the cost of it was almost like completely detrimental to their business, and then they stopped it, and then they've had to since then start rebuilding on that process.
Is there like a sentry posted or anything like that?
Make a perception check.
Ooh, a hidden sentry.
21, very nice. Let me pull up that residence. Pardon me. So as you guys stand there, you can see that there's a large courtyard with maybe several large trees, as well as two footpaths that lead to a two-story brick mansion on the eastward side, detached from a coach house. Oh, and a detached coach house inside. Um, Currently, at the moment, you don't see any guards that are like stationed at the like there's no like watchtowers or anything like that, but you can see with that roll that there appears to be a singular guard that is in the that is currently standing in front of a doorway within. There are various different sconces that are illuminating small pockets of the area within inside the courtyard. You also see what appears to be one mastiff that is kind of walking around sniffing at a tree within the courtyard. You see him stop for a moment, take a leak.
Are there any open windows?
Um, there aren't any. I'm trying to figure out how best to show this to you. There aren't any like. There are a few open windows, but they're not like close to the wall's edge. So you have this entire perimeter of the estate that is walled in, and then you have like what appears to be a residential area of sorts, almost in the middle of the courtyard. And there does appear to be like an open balcony window, but there's like a lace curtain that is currently just gently wafting in the breeze.
Could I try to get my bat in there, maybe?
You may certainly try.
I do that.
Okay. Are you trying?
Stealthily.
Okay.
We
Roll a
could
stealth
also,
check. Uh-huh.
We could knock tell him.
I mean, it's just a bat. But sure, we don't have to do this if you guys don't want to. That's fine.
We could always do the bat after we knock.
I guess.
Just do the bat. Like you said, it's just a bat.
Fine. Bring that bat over here at least.
What do you mean over here?
I mean, I would like to touch the bat.
Okay.
Let me pet your bat.
I make the bat invisible.
Very nice. Go ahead and roll stealth check with advantage.
11.
11 total with advantage.
Plus 2 to dex.
Perry
Oh
also
boy. Perry, what?
Perry also wants to touch the bat and cast guidance.
Buff up his bat.
14, I guess.
Sure, I'll allow it. Although, yeah, sure, I'll allow it. Why not? Why not?
In that case, a total of 14.
All right. All right, let me make some more rolls. Hold on a second.
Oh, and I'm gonna touch the bat too. And I'm just joking.
No, you gotta do
Because
something.
it looks soft.
All right, let me see.
The bat will be dead in a couple minutes, depending on how hostile these people are. So. Say your goodbyes.
Why don't you send in the bat and we knock at the same time, so that way they're a bit more distracted with us up front.
Sure, I feel like it might be too late for that, but
Good idea. Let me borrow your arm. Grab Tizio by the hand and pull him to the front door and knock.
You're knocking on the gate?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the guards attention. I mean, it's not the middle of the night, right? It just got dark. Doesn't feel like
Well, it took you guys about an hour and a half to get. It took you guys about maybe 45 minutes to get up to this spot, and then you spent an hour to an hour and a half in the dark. It's late. It's about maybe 7, 8 o'clock at night.
All right,
Yeah,
that looks
you
like
can
if it's
you
that-
can totally do it
if it's
if you
that late-
want.
No, if it's that late, if we're gonna do the knock at the door, I'd wait until the morning.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a proper sense of time. You guys left the City of the Dead at dusk. Spent maybe we'll say we'll round up to an hour to get there, and then you spend about another hour and a half pinpointing this residence. So it's I'd say about 7, 8 o'clock at night. But
Let's see what the bat gets us.
Sure, I'm just looking up stat block. Give me a second. Oh, there is a stealth check here in the book. That's great. Da 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 da. Okay. Okay, so they rolled terribly. So your bat starts to fly off and up and over, and you can see over this 12-foot tall wall, and you start just kind of coasting in through the air. Are you guys just like posted up outside of the gate, or were you guys like trying to get off to the side, I imagine?
I mean, I kind of imagine we'd be around the corner, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that this villa takes up the entire corner, other than the few houses that are going this way. Just so you know.
Gotcha. So it's
okay.
like a big.
Yeah, I'll move the arrow out of the way that you can zoom in. That is the actual like residence property.
I think we probably hang out like in here.
That's right.
Like a. We'll go in there.
We've got
Okay.
kind of a McMansion going on.
I mean the Nobility and Waterdeep have really nice houses. So
I'm gonna keep an eye out on the rooftops.
okay, make another perception check. So as you allow your bat to invisibly fly, you close your eyes and you concentrate on the bat's field of view, and you spend maybe the next 5 minutes or so just kind of like circling around the perimeter. And as you're kind of looking down into this courtyard, you can see now that there appear to be three large dark brown mastiffs that are just kind of like roaming around sniffing different areas. You watch as a few of them seem to like snap at each other every now and then. You can see that there's a singular guard that is posted up on the ground floor, right next to what appears to be a very brightly burning sconce. As you kind of coast your way over towards the northern side of the complex, you can see that there's that one window that has these large, it's a like a double paned window that's like currently opened outward, and inside it are these like very lavishly like red looking curtains that are just kind of like billowing back and forth in the breeze. Are you just kind of, are you trying to just have them fly or like right in, or are you just having them perch up on the?
Well, you said there were curtains, right? So you couldn't really see in unless you kind of just.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. It's not like a balcony or so, but it's like a French, like almost like a French window. So
Sure.
you could kind of like perch up on the edge of it, and you would be hidden essentially behind the curtain if that's what you were trying to do.
See, I
Or
was trying to see inside.
sure, so you're just trying to like fly right in.
Sure.
It's up to you.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Fly in.
So you fly into this room here, and what you can see is that it is a well lit, lavish interior. What appears to be a bedroom of some kind. You can see that there is a very beautiful wood-carved four-poster bed in one corner. There is a large vanity dresser in another, and you can currently see that there are two individuals that are just talking amongst each other right now. Go ahead and make a perception check for the bat.
We got the awesome score of 5
5. Okay.
with advantage.
What is? Oh, because he gets. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's keen hearing or whatever.
Cool, cool. So as you flutter your way in through, you watch as the conversation between them stop for a moment, and they kind of look over in your direction, not seeing you, but there's a brief pause, and then they return to talking. There's a man and a woman there. One The male seems to have like very short black hair that is kind of slicked back to the back of his head, a little bit port round in the front. The woman is extremely beautiful and much taller, maybe about a foot and a half taller than the husband, or I'd say about 2 feet taller than the husband. He is currently pacing about back and forth as the female is just staring at him with a bit of a stern face. Let me pull up their names.
What do you see, Talon?
There's this attractive woman and some dude. They're just talking. They look nervous.
He would totally love to say that to you if he could hear what you were saying.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he could be narrating as he's seen things.
Yeah, he
That's fair.
absolutely could be. I hate how they don't have... I'm sorry, guys. Information is everywhere.
You're fired. New DM next week.
Sure. I just don't want to give you the wrong names. That's why I'm like, where is it? Oh my gosh, where is it? I wasn't expecting you guys to hit this spot this good.
There's always break your shit.
I'm happy for it. This speeds things up. I just feel bad for not having the wife and husband's name in front of me.
Apparently, when you roll 60 on the D100, it lands on Advance the Plot.
Okay,
His name is
Yala.
Steve Wolfhound or whatever. Guardhound. Howland? I wrote it down. I can't find it. Oh, Gralhund.
You're
Steve
right.
Gralhund. I made that up. But
I'm so sorry, everyone. Give me one moment. Oron didn't. Okay, I got it. Sorry. And she is only about a foot taller. But, and I'll send you a picture of what they look like. But you can see that the male is currently pacing back and forth, and he looks over to the taller, more beautiful looking lady, and he goes, Yalla, what are we going to do about these individuals? They're becoming a peasant, or a nuisance. And you can see that she just, with a stern face, looks back to him and says, everything is under control. He came back. We'll deal with him when we need to. He's locked up. Doesn't matter at this point. But what about that thing? Well, he got a little carried away, but no one seems to be pointing the finger at us at the moment. And then at that moment, there's a knock on the door. And you watch as the door swings open, and you can't really see who's currently in the process of talking, but you see that or you can hear a more gruff voice of an individual that says, he says he wants to make a deal. And then you watch as they kind of look at each other and then nod, and then they exit the room.
and did they close the door?
Yes, they close the door
Okay.
behind them.
Well, I'll just fly the bat back out of the room to save the invisibility, and then tell everyone what I heard.
That sounds damn suspicious.
It's more than suspicious. What are we gonna do about it?
What was the name of the group that's here?
The woman was called Yala, and the man was called Orond.
And they said the nimble right was locked up, I think. So, well, they said something was locked up, some monstrosity or beast or something. Kind of assumed.
Be more than a coincidence if it wasn't nimble, right?
The
Well, I
thing
mean-
chasing, right? So you're talking about not actually nimble, right?
How do we want to approach this?
Well, maybe we can find a secret entrance.
Tizio, for your perception check on the roofs, you don't see anything out of the ordinary.
We can wait till the morning. We can try to get inside. I don't know how we're going to get past those dogs in the nighttime.
Everyone knows you should commit break-ins during the day.
I mean, for example, we could find a reason for one of us to be let inside,
That's fair.
for any reason at all, and another one invisibly could follow them.
True. Doesn't help the rest, though.
But we can't stroll in there invisible with the dogs.
It also kind of sounded like they're annoyed at some group of people. If I was paranoid, I'd say it was us, but I don't know why it would be us. They might recognize us if it is us.
Did you guys see the Discord image?
Yes. Well, one of the ones they killed, well, one of the ones the Nimble killed had that mark on them, right? Cookie down.
Yeah, so there were a couple dead Zents, I believe.
Be a little bit nervous if I were on the wrong side of the Zentarum.
There's lots of powerful people on both sides of that fight. So come back in the morning, see if we can get in.
Let's see if there's another way down.
I mean, the other option is guns blazing, I'm pretty sure.
Well, a place like this is
They
good.
are-
More than one entrance.
Yeah, there's the secret entrance method, if we can find one.
They are also having some sort of top secret meeting right now. Probably won't be there in the morning.
Maybe it's connected to the sewers.
It's good if they're not here in the morning because we're not looking for them.
Have we seen any sewer entrances nearby?
Make a perception check.
Sorry, it's the performance check that's the same modifier, so 3.
I mean, if we're all just walking around looking for sewers, like, we'll assist, right?
Sure. So 18. There isn't a sewer entrance immediately nearby. It'll take you guys maybe about 15, 20 minutes or so, but you are able to locate a sewer entrance. Probably, let's see, this one's there, that one connects there. Probably about here.
If we were to go down there, would we reasonably be able to maybe navigate our way under the house? If there were tunnels under the house, just like in theory, would we be able to remember kind of in what direction the house was?
You could certainly try.
I have an idea for this.
Okay.
One moment. How deep are the sewers?
The last sewer entrance you traveled down, you went down maybe about 20 to 30 feet before touching the sewer.
How thick? This isn't gonna work. 1 foot of stone. I was gonna stay on the street and message down and just ping up and down,
I
but
see.
it won't work. There's more than 1 foot of stone.
I mean, I could leave my bird on the surface. Or not bird, a bat at the moment. If you wanted. This seems like the best chance at a secret entrance.
It's worth a look at least.
Okay. So who's trying to go down the sewer?
I think as a party we would be, but
Yeah, Perry will go down.
Okay.
I'll stay up here. Just kidding. I'm totally going down.
Okay. So, are you guys trying to be quiet about this?
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think we would try to draw attention to ourselves.
Go ahead and just give me a general stealth check for everybody. As you guys are kind of walking into the middle of a residential area in the North Ward and traveling down the sewer.
Jesus, we
At
roll
night.
so well today.
Oh my god.
Phew. Okay. Sure. So to the best of your abilities, you all try to quietly descend the metal ladder rungs that are currently embedded into this smaller, almost a little bit more narrow sewer entrance. And as you guys make your way down about 20 or so feet, touching the bottom, you are now within the rushing waters of the sewer. It is completely dark down here. And for those of you without dark vision, you are completely blind.
Oh, cast light.
Oh, okay. As the light emanates out from around you, you can see that this appears to be a singular long stretch of tunnel that leads north and south. It feels like similar to the smaller offshoot tunnel that is beneath your own residence, where it is maybe about 5 or so feet across, about well, it's about 10 feet across, about 5 foot high in this half dome shape. Thankfully, not too much water is currently running or sloshing. It doesn't appear to be too deep in the center.
And then where do we enter again? Over here?
The arrow is where you guys currently entered.
Okay, and the alcove is there. Okay. Or not the alcove, the villa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the manor's that one.
I mean, we could head south then a bit. See? Right? That would be the right
Yeah.
direction.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you guys continue to press on south. 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Not seeing the tunnel kind of jetting off in any direction yet.
And there were no other ladders up.
So we walked a half mile?
Oh, 10 minutes of walking, and you guys were going slow? No.
Oh, okay.
You guys were walking slow just to kind of not draw attention to yourselves, or but you guys walked about 5 or 10 minutes or so. You didn't see any other ladder rungs. You didn't see any other connections. You can continue on. Maybe it cuts left and back up, but you're not entirely sure. If anyone proficient in history, go ahead and roll a history check for me.
Half the party rolls.
Yeah, basically.
Perception.
Okay.
You did say perception, right?
Well,
history.
you're more than welcome
What
to
am I
roll
thinking?
perception if you like. No, you're good, Tizio. We know you have a terrible computer. Yeah, generally, the group of you would... I mean, like, Talum, you would understand this. Clarion, you would know this, especially because growing up back home, it's not uncommon for these kinds of things to happen. You have large metropolitan cities where plumbing breaks down a lot, especially when you are building upon catacombs of sewers that have been there for generations. Tunnels get demolished and rebuilt. Tunnels get rerouted to other different directions. From taking a look at these tunnels as you're investigating them, this particular area seems to be newer than what you've experienced so far within the North Ward. Comparatively, when you guys were near the high road, when you guys kind of came out, because you guys kind of popped out over here last time, that's where the broken alcove was. That wall structure seemed to be much older than the brick and mortar that is currently in place here. It appears to be new.
And would we expect a manor of this size to have, like, just given what we've seen in the sewers or what we know about the city, would we expect a manor of this size to have some sort of direct sewer access?
So for plumbing wise, yeah, if that's what you're asking, it would be kind of commonplace for noble villas and of the like to having direct plumbing into the sewer so that you're not having to slosh stuff out to the streets. That would be a bit of a sign of, elitism or having money. So you could imagine that, especially a family who's been around for a number of generations, to have those kind of basic necessities. It's got to connect somewhere. Oh my god, please do that.
Talum, can you fly your bat ahead as we, I guess, guide you as well. See if
Okay.
there's anything up ahead. If it turns left or right, etc.
Uh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and make a perception check for the bat.
Expert rolls right here.
Mhm.
Oh, this time we got an 8.
Nice. You send your bat flying forward. Probably about another, from where you guys are, another 10 or so minutes, and then the actual tunnel itself splits out into 3. So almost like a, you know, just a 3-pronged center. So it's a straight line south, and then it breaks off into three separate paths. One pointing towards the east, one continuing south, one going a little bit to the west in about 45-degree angles. You notice maybe about, no, not with that roll. Yeah, that those are kind of your paths. So you're looking at maybe about down here or so. It's not a a completely straight piping of sewering. It goes straight. It kind of goes straight as best it can. You gather it tries to follow the city streets itself, but it seems to kind of like pipe out into 3 different directions at this point.
Okay. I'll
If
tell the
it,
party that.
yeah, if you had to guesstimate.
Oh boy, the arrow keeps moving. So where?
Oh, sorry. Where are you, or where is your bat? Which would you like to know?
Yes.
Cool. You guys are about here. You stopped because there was no tunnel continuation after 10 feet or 10 minutes. You sent your bat further down, somewhere about here.
Gotcha. This doesn't seem to be working. The only thing left is maybe check the walls for like construction or secret door or something.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Anybody want to help?
Dallin, what do
Yeah,
you
I was
Why
gonna-
would
I
there
was
be
gonna
a
say I gotta take a
secret
look.
door in the store?
I don't know. Didn't we think that the Nimblewright fled into the sewer? And
I,
if we kind of
I
think
suppose
that
so, but we're looking for where their shit comes out. I don't think it opens a secret door.
Oh, I wasn't looking for that. There's no way we would fit up those pipes. I was looking for maybe a secret entrance into the house.
I'd like to find the house first.
I'll go take a look.
Eva, make a intelligence check. And whoever's trying to look for secret doors, go ahead and make
That's not
investigation
my
checks.
forte. Ha!
Oh my god, a natural 20.
So, Eva, as you're kind of looking around to try to estimate as best you can whereabouts their residence would be, you gather as you guys were traveling, maybe about 5 or 8 minutes or so down the path, you're a pretty good judge of distance. You're assuming that where you guys are standing in this one long tunnel of what appears to be newly constructed wall or tunnel system, it's got to be right here somewhere. And you guys have the Nimblewright detector, so you guys are kind of pulling it out and you're kind of testing it. It's still responding strongly. Tizio, as you are kind of searching along the masonry to see if there's any kind of depressions or any kind of separations between the walls, you're not noticing anything that would indicate any kind of like secret passage or tunnel that's just kind of like molded over. You guys do notice, spending time looking at the seams of everything, that while you guys are standing on these very narrow walking platforms and then the slosh of waters kind of in the center of the trench, you do see that there appears to be these small little like 2-foot wide gaps, and every so often you can see that water starts to kind of pour out from those gaps.
Well, there's your entrance into the house
Can we
is.
see if it's clean water?
It doesn't look clean.
Okay, fair enough.
It looks as if almost the refuse is going straight into the trenches itself.
It must come
Well,
down
I'm
from
not
here.
small enough to fit in that.
Send the bat up that way.
Bats don't swim?
Technically, anything has a swim speed.
Well, the bat's walking speed is 5 feet, and the swim speed is half your walking speed.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's really.
Kind of not really.
You win this time.
No, my bat actually has the free movement spell cast on it at all times, right?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. It also has, constant etherealness on it, so it can go through walls.
Oh, yes, and bots and wall hacks.
That would be great right now.
Just casual permanent level 8 spell.
Hmm. So,
Well, this didn't work. Who wants to take a trip in a satchel?
On the off chance. They've been searching the walls.
correct. Tizio's been kind of going over the masonry to see if there's any kind of nooks or crannies or depressions and things like that. He wasn't able to identify anything.
Just on the off chance, because she can't help herself, she's gonna look at the floor and see if there's any scratched or buffed areas, anything that looks worn more than the other places.
Sure, go ahead and make a perception or investigation check, or perception if you're trying to do it quick. Okay. Yeah. At a just a general glance along the floors themselves, other than them being kind of slick with bits of moisture here and there, it's not completely like rancid horrible like it was on the large tunnel system of the high road that you guys were in. This appears to be well maintained. You're not entirely sure if that's because it's newer construction, something that was replenished recently, but you gather that everything doesn't. Everything seems like it should. Unfortunately, you're not seeing anything out of the ordinary.
Well, what was your other idea, Talon?
You can climb in my new bag, and the bird can carry you inside. It's a brilliant, flawless plan that has no chance of going wrong.
Can the bag carry a 12-pound bag?
It's 12 pounds? Probably not.
The bag weighs 15 pounds, regardless of content.
Well, he has a strength score of 2.
Yeah.
So 10
Yeah.
pounds.
He would technically be able to, I guess. Oh no. This is
It's 5
becoming
pounds
more
more.
real.
Well, I'll tell you what. As you guys stand there within the sewers contemplating your next steps, unsure of how much time you spent kind of investigating this small patch of new sewer, we're going to take a quick break. And then you guys can come up with a plan and we'll see where it goes from there.
I think we should just cut our losses and head back.
There
We should,
is
make a heist to get into the facility.
the indiscriminate slaughter approach.
Well, you got at least 2 people that aren't going to join you for that.
Well, we will take a quick 5-6 minute break. to grab coffee and whatnot, and then we will come back and resume.
Yes, coffee.
See you all in a few. everybody back?
I am.
Yep.
I am present.
All right.
Hooray.
Sorry, I was reading, so I got distracted.
Our super secret plan.
Yeah, so what is the plan?
Ha! That's a good one.
Well, I feel before we chuck ourselves in a bag in there, we should try something with the guard. First off, I think we're leaving the sewers, yeah?
Oh yeah, probably. Since we failed to find anything.
Okay. So you guys all managed to clamber your way back out the way you came, over onto Horn Street. There you can see now, while it's dark and it's late, it's not like this part of the town is like not lit at all. So you can definitely see that there are street lamps burning. There are still horse-drawn carriages going back and forth, carrying passengers and things of the like. You can see that there are a few individuals that every now and then just making their way to and fro from your direction, but no one seems to pay you any mind as you exit out of the side alley where you found this sewer entrance. What do you guys wish to do?
Perry's ready to head back.
We could try in the morning, or I could try and convince the guard to help us. I might be able to get him to either let us in or to try to get the nimble right out tonight when everyone's asleep.
Yeah, do we have any proof that could help them let us in?
Proof of what?
Proof that there's a nimble ride in there. Oh, I guess so. Do they know anything that we know about, like that we're looking for some kind of strange robot thing, that we have a thing that binds them, that's what's causing all this? Do they know any of that, or is that just us?
So it sounds like they're paranoid about a group of people causing problems. They have something locked up that really sounds like it's the nimble right. And somebody was willing to make a deal with them. So they don't necessarily know that there's a nimble right detector. I would say they probably don't know that.
Oh, I guess I'm talking about the guard. Is there?
Oh, the guard.
Do we have any proof of anything sketchy that could persuade them to let us through the door?
Oh, if it's just one guard we need to convince, I'm not too worried about needing a lot of proof.
Oh,
Not usually a good idea to blackmail guards either.
Well, I mean, presenting proof of a crime isn't really blackmail.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'll use magic.
Technically, it is if you're not presenting it to a judge or a court. Using it to gain influence.
He could also be being paid off.
Wait, are you guys talking about the city watch or the guard inside? Because he's just going to be a private hand, I would think.
I assumed they meant the private guards that were at the manor.
Oh, well, they're not going to care.
oh,
Correct.
we're
yeah,
not
they're
trying to
not-
get
they're
the
not
city
gonna-
watched involved. We're trying to just persuade the guard who's at the front to let us in.
Yeah, I convinced one guard to wait until
Ah.
the dead of night and either let us in or help our quarry out.
It's a lot smarter because the city watch drive me crazy. So I like that idea a lot better.
Okay, so what's the plan?
I
I'm
think
gonna go
it's
up to the gate.
it's nap time for good old Ellis.
Yeah, let's head back.
Okay. So it's surprisingly not too much of a journey from the Gralhund Villa back over to Trollskull Alley, but you all managed to find your way back over there. Um, the City Watch presence and the City Guard that were there throughout the majority of the day seems to have subsided. You can see that the building that was destroyed across from your house, while still taped off, is not currently being watched over. But you guys are able to walk up towards Trollskull Manor, and you can see the warm light from the interior and the casual conversation of individuals from within. As you open up through the double doors, you can see that the establishment seems to be bustling. It doesn't seem to be a dull night or anything. It's not overly packed either. There are probably maybe about 6 or 7 individuals here, and you can see that Floon and Vanessa are just in the process of serving drinks casually, having conversations with individuals here and there. And you see as Vanessa kind of looks over at the group of you, and at first she goes to say, have a seat wherever you," and then she kind of sees the group of you and she just waves.
Everything going smoothly?
It's been a lot easier than grand opening, that's for sure.
Do they look like they need help?
Uh, At the moment, no. You can see that there, like I said, about 6 or 7 individuals just kind of scattered about in small little groups here and there. One has like a table 2, the other is a table 3. There's one individual just kind of off drinking on his own. But they all seem to be either in the process of eating or drinking something and having conversation and laughter amongst themselves. You do notice, though, that there is a bard currently in the process of playing, and you can see that Drake is just in the corner, feet perched up by the hearth, just listening to him. This individual appears to be a human male with long silver hair, and they are gently swaying back and forth as they play on a viola.
I will appraise his performance.
Yeah, spending a few minutes listening to him, it's elegant. It's not. You can tell that by listening to his music and having studied here and understanding the musics of that from abroad, this music is not local. Whatever he's playing is something you haven't heard before, and it's a mixture of like both passion and grit, and he's performing in it like admirably. You're almost taken aback.
I smile and nod and keep an eye on him and an ear on him so that when he finishes, I can go up and start a conversation. In the meantime, just grab some food.
Absolutely, yeah. And he kind of just looks in your direction, doesn't acknowledge or anything back, but just continues to watch the group of you. He has a small, what appears to be like some kind of like tankard or something at his feet. Um, yeah, you all grab a seat, and you see that Floon walks over and he goes, "Well, you guys are back a little late. What's been going on?" Starts passing out drinks.
chasing down this Nimblerite. You know anything about any Nimblerites or anything?
He kind of shakes his head briefly for a moment, and he goes, "No, I can't say that I have. What's it got to do with you guys?"
Just a job. Do you know anything about the Gralhunds? I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, I always mess it up too. The Gralhunds, huh? Yeah, they're one of the 90 some odd noble families here within the city. I never interacted with them too much myself. They're merchants of a sort, making swords, I think.
Does he seem uneasy by us bringing that up at all?
Make an insight check. No, from what you can gather, he genuinely uh, seems curious, and he seems open about what he's telling you. You don't see any like nervous eye twitches or any pauses in his speech. But yeah, I don't know too much about them. I know they had some trouble a couple years back, but they seem to have recovered all right.
They have quite the manner. Do you know anything about it? Is it newly built or has it been around a while?
Oh, the Garland Villa's been here for probably the better part of 200 or so years. I don't think it's new by any means. They keep it renovated, I'm sure. But it's been up here in the North Ward for as long as I can remember. I mean, it's nothing compared to like Raynar's home. His estate's pretty large too. You tend to find that the closer you get to the Sea Ward, the more extravagant the homes get.
Well, anyways, how much are we charging for drinks around here?
Well, that depends on what you're ordering, I think. But let me pull up my chart. Are you guys paying for your own food?
Well, Perry was gonna buy around for everybody in the.
Oh, okay. So for all of you guys plus the people that are there, or just for your party?
Everybody. So everybody in the inn right now.
Okay, so it's about 14, 15 people, not including Drake. Probably looking at about 2 gold.
So yeah, Perry tosses the. Is Flume the bartender right now, or
Yeah.
tosses 2 gold to Flume
And a round on the house.
and yells at.
And you see that there's a couple of what appear to be older shipwrights or maybe some kind of sailors, you're not entirely sure, and you can see that they kind of slam on the table and give a hoot and a holler and raise a glass in your direction. You can see that Drake kind of sits up a little bit more now that he's seeing you guys enter in and just trying to look more on his toes than he might have been earlier. The gesture is well received as Flume darts about to give out those drinks. Shortly after, he settles in to bring you guys something to eat, and as you guys kind of sit there and discuss amongst yourselves what the next plan of action is, you see bursting through the door Raynar Neverember. And he kind of opens up the door and he just kind of scans the room and he looks and he finds the group of you just kind of, I'm assuming, lollygagging around either a table or the bar itself. and you see that he kind of nods. He doesn't appear to be like angry or anything of sorts, but he does appear to have something on his chest. And he kind of walks up to the group of you and he goes, "I've heard quite a few things have gone on today, huh?"
News to me.
Well, little one, I'm sure you didn't, you weren't oblivious to the large fireball that nearly destroyed the neighborhood.
Oh, that was today? Oh
Oh,
my god. It's been a long day. I don't know, it feels like today's lasted 3 weeks.
You see him give you a little side eye. Go on, Perry, sorry.
It's gonna pretty much say the same thing.
He kind of smirks a little bit, but then he goes, "Well, you all have a minute."
Yeah. Want to go somewhere more private?
That's totally your call. It doesn't matter to me much. And you see as he kind of looks around the room, I don't think there's anybody here that is a prying eye.
Okay.
And so he pulls up a chair next to the group of you and he watches. He just kind of like makes eye contact with Floon. There's no words between them. But then he goes back to looking at the group of you and Floon's just kind of like hovering around the bar. I've been out trying to assess what's been going on ever since I heard about the fireball this morning. It seems this alternate faction of Zents might have been involved. I'm not entirely sure yet. Dabble seems to have gone missing. Oh, no, correction, actually. Raynar would have told you. I just got word that Dabble had been arrested for causing the incident with the fireball this morning. But aside from that,
On what evidence?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. There's been a lot of confusion, and with some of the charred bodies that were recovered and taken to the local temple of Kelemvor, it seems that the Order of Magistrates and Protectors have identified that two of those individuals carried markings of the Zentarum. And while the Zentarum parade themselves around as sellswords for hire, there's always been an underlying suspicion that they've been onto more nefarious crimes and things. So Davil has been taken into custody. He will be questioned. If he is found innocent, well, then so be it. But that's where things stand currently.
What do you know about the Gralhunds?
The Gralhunds. Oh, another uptight noble family here in the city. Made their fortune selling various weaponry to the armies and the guards here within the city and beyond. Why?
Can you get us in their house?
He's a little taken back and he kind of cocks an eyebrow at you. He goes, "While I particularly don't have an association with them, I'm sure my name has some kind of clout and I might be able to... what's the word I'm looking for? Meet them for conversation, but on what pretense?"
We're pretty sure they're involved. So I don't know what pretense you would go to them with.
At you saying that, he kind of like looks around again, just to double check to see who's listening. And honestly, really, it's aside from the group of you and like Flume because they're standing there. He goes, It, you best not throw around accusations like that out in the open, lest you cause one of these noble families to retaliate against you. It's best not to just throw people's names out there without having any sort of evidence. Speaking of, what evidence do you have?
Uh, Listening to a conversation they were having in their private bedroom.
He lets out a long, drawn-out sigh, and he goes, kind of like rubs his temple for a moment, and he says, "Are you to tell me that you were within the Garlands' bedchambers listening to them, spying on them?"
There was an open window.
And a bat.
Some of us have extremely good hearing.
He kind of chuckles at the at what you say, Eva, and he looks over to you and he says, "Be that as it may, listening in on the private conversations of those within their own residence is hardly any grounds for pointing fingers. We would need something a little more concrete than that."
We might not have the time for official channels. They're holding someone hostage.
We believe the thing that caused the fireball is currently in their possession, thanks to our little whirly whirl.
What is this whirly whirl you speak of? Is this some sort of magics?
Mechanical magics. We don't really understand it. It just tells us when we're close to one of those nimble right thingies. And apparently,
You will try to like. I was gonna say Tizio will try to like explain in like really technical long words, I guess, if possible.
Okay. Yeah, and he kind of looks at you all and he says, "Well, from my understanding of it and what you guys are telling me, you're saying that a construct bound to the Temple of Gond."
no. Second construct. The
Right.
construct in the temple built a new one, and then it ran away.
You can see the bit of frustration on his face as he tries to process the information.
And there was this fireball, which we also know how it happened. It wasn't a spell. I'll say that much.
How do you know it wasn't cast by a mage?
Well, I mean, we don't know that for sure, but there's physical evidence that leans towards it not being cast by mage.
Well, this evidence would grant a warrant. Where is it?
Uh, you know, what would the warrant be to?
The warrant would allow the city watch to formally investigate the Garland Villa.
Well, we didn't find it there. It was just like outside the building of our house,
So,
It was at the scene of the crime.
and you didn't turn it in to the watch.
No.
Tamora, forgive me. Look, when the Lords of Waterdeep ousted my father, I thought his long dark shadow was finally gone for good. The truth is, I want nothing more to do with him. But his spies hound me. One of them was a gnome named Delacar, and he had been watching me for months. About 2 10 days ago, the spy was suddenly nowhere to be seen. My father didn't trust many people, but he trusted that gnome. I spoke with a few of Delacar's friends, and apparently he was on a special mission to retrieve the Stone of Galore, and was afraid that the Zentarum and the Xanathar Guild were close to catching him. When he heard about my kidnapping, he wanted more information about the adventurers who had rescued me. I think Delacar was planning to pay you to deliver the Stone of Galore to my father in Neverwinter. but he was killed in that blast this morning.
Does that mean he had it or wanted us to find it?
I think he had it in his possession, and he was trying to shake off his pursuers. So whoever cast this fireball knew he was in possession of the stone. Now, the City Watch have not reported uncovering any such artifacts from him.
Yeah, we know something ran away from after searching somebody's body.
But it wasn't the creature who cast the fireball.
So I gather whoever it was that pickpocketed Delacar's body may very well have the stone in their possession right now.
And the consequences of that are that they can find something? Or I can't remember.
They can find the cache of dragons that have been embezzled within the city. Nearly 500,000.
I see. Do you happen to have a whirly whirl for the Stone of Galore?
No, I've never even seen the object up close. I don't even know what it looks like, to be honest. It might not even be a stone at all. But all I know is this. If anyone were to get their hands on this stone, including the Zentarum of the Xanathar Guild, if they were able to have access to hundreds of thousands of gold dragons here within the city, I could only imagine what they would spend it on.
Well, do you have any leads besides what we have told you today?
From what I've gathered, it seems like you guys have the most pertinent information. If you were saying that this rogue Nimblewright caused the destruction, then they must be tied in with the attack on Delacar. And they must be... They must have something to do with the stone. But I can't walk into the Gralhunds mansion and accuse them of attacking people in broad daylight, murdering 12 innocents. Without some sort of a warrant, the city guard would laugh you in the face.
What if we wanted to purchase a lot of weapons?
I have a proposal.
Please.
We have that bag, right, Don?
That is a thing we have as well. It's been a long day.
Nimblewrights don't breathe.
Also true.
So, middle of the night, convince the guard to let me in. We'll go invisible, bring the bag, have him take me to the Nimblewright, convince him that we are his best chance of not languishing in a cell or being dismantled, and bring him back to us.
Yeah, but we also have a fire. Okay. Do you know how to communicate with them? Because I wasn't there when you were eating with the other one. Do they, understand language?
So what your compatriots told you was that the Nim in the Temple of Gond could not speak, but he communicated via hand signs. So he knew sign language, and Valletta interpreted it for him.
And he was able to understand us.
He was.
Okay. So we can talk at him.
True statement?
I'm willing to try it. Worst case, we're up a Nimblewright.
So, what does smuggling him out get us?
Can talk to him.
Okay. Do we think searching their house would be good?
I advise if you do that very, very carefully.
Well, yeah. I don't just mean without an invitation, but
Is there a way for us to get an invitation?
That is a wonderful question. I don't know. I haven't
I can imagine one thing they'd respond to.
yeah, if we wanted to buy a lot of weapons or something,
Or if their nimble rate went missing and we said we knew where it was.
but so how do we get it out of their house without getting in their house already?
I don't need to. I can get in the house alone. I'm not worried about that.
Oh, okay. So you want to? I see. That makes sense.
I will feign ignorance here, and you watch as Raynar stands up and he finishes the glass of wine that he was handed by Floon, and he looks to the group of you and he says, "This figure that hobbled away from the incident. Let me speak to some of the Harpers that I know. Let's see if I can find some more information. Don't do anything tonight. Give me time. I'll be back in the morrow."
Tomorrow morning it is.
And you watch as he just like bows politely to the group of you, and he walks off.
I don't like waiting.
Well, I need to sleep.
So shortly, probably maybe about, I don't know, 5 or so minutes after Raynar leaves, you do notice, Eva, that the bard that was playing has now stopped, and they're just like kind of assessing how much money they might have gained for the day. They're starting to pack up their viola.
Before I turn back, I'll look at the party and say, "Do you want me to try this tonight, or are we just gonna wait?"
I know. I think, I know. I need to go to bed or something. Woo! Hey, that was some good viola playing over there.
Thank you, big one. I appreciate it.
I'm waving around my third drink. Well, you should come back again. You could, like, even compete against my friend over here. She's pretty good with a viol too.
He, the gentleman, the human gentleman with like very like pale white skin, silvery hair, looks over to you, Eva, immediately, and just kind of surmises your stature. And how long have you been playing, Miss?
10 years, a little longer.
Well, maybe a little longer, and you'll have as much practice as I do. Either
Where are
way.
you from?
You wouldn't believe me if I said it.
You could try me.
Menzo Baranzan. Where are you from?
Enzo Parent. Do I know where that is?
Make a history check.
In the North Dark. Beneath Mithril Hall.
I don't know where that is.
Unfortunately,
South of this part of the world.
I may know where that is, but with a total of 3 on my history check, Avon definitely does not know where that is.
So, since I was on a call, I kind of missed something. Are we?
Yes.
Assume we're talking to a drow right now.
You are talking to a human male with silver hair.
Yeah.
Hillsfar.
Human male with silver hair. Says he's from Enzo Branson.
He laughed about it jokingly. You're not entirely. You can make an insight check to see if he's telling the truth.
Sounds like he's wearing that mask that Driz wore that turned him into an elf.
Don't know what you're talking
Regular
about.
elf. I mean, sounds exactly like the situation.
But you're welcome to make an insight check if you.
All right.
So, I mean, so Eva walked over to him as he was kind of on the small stage that you guys had set up for performing from the grand opening, and you're kind of sitting a bit away, but it's quiet enough in here to to hear the conversation. He's saying it in a. He's kind of laughing it off as he's saying it, but there's a. It doesn't feel like a joke. It's the best way I can describe it. His eyes are, while he's laughing, his eyes are serious and intent.
What color are his eyes?
They would be blue currently.
A likely story. Have you had a long rest since our escapades in the sewer?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
This has been the longest day.
Nor a short rest, I believe. Maybe a short rest. I don't remember.
I'm sure you could have fit in a short rest somewhere. It's been a long day.
Well, I never got hurt, so I'm only running out of. I need spell slots.
Yeah, I mean, it is very late in the evening. This gentleman bard who was speaking to Eva was wrapping up, and then you guys can head off to bed or plan for the day, what have you. But he looks back over to you, Eva, and he says, "Hillsfar. It's not a very welcoming place for some."
No, it's a bit of a backwater.
I do my best to stay away from places that look down on others. It's a good thing that you've gotten away from such a place. It is most freeing to be here. I can be who I want to.
It's fortunate that you found our welcoming establishment.
I heard you were in need of entertainers. I thought I'd stop by. If this is a establishment that will be open for some time, I am more than welcome to make this a more regular service.
Oh, we don't have any plans on closing.
We would love that.
I think he was talking off mic. Well, then maybe I will stop by again tomorrow. Maybe you can show me what you have learned, huh?
I look forward to it.
It's a pleasure again, Miss. I didn't catch your name.
She'll put out a hand. Evandra.
Ah, Soren. It is a pleasure. Kind of just
Have a pleasant evening, Soren.
you as well. And you watch as he finishes tying up his veal in. Go ahead and make a perception check. Yeah, so you can see that the brown leather case that he uses to house his viola is seems to be pretty worn down, but the viola itself appeared to be in very good condition.
How's he walking? Like, how to describe it?
On two legs.
I figured that much, but more subtle. Like, is he walking like he's like the grace of a warrior? Like, if somebody tried to attack him, he'd, be able to quickly respond. Or is he
Make it-
walking like a drunken ogre?
Make another insight check.
Shit.
It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, he carries himself very prominently upright, and he casually like kind of holds his veal over his shoulder, you know, kind of like the one-handed backpack thing. And as he makes his way out and he pulls the door inward to leave, he gives a quick last glance, and you can see that he, you know, just kind of scans the room one more time, just kind of taking in each of your faces, and just bows gently, lets the door close behind.
Is he visibly armed at all?
You did not see any weapons on him.
I was a betting man. I'd say we have a drow here. In disguise.
You played very nice music.
Humans don't escape from Zoberandon.
Should we follow him, or what's up, Calarian?
Nah. He showed no aggression here. That I heard, at least.
So, is there anything else that you guys wish to do before settling in for the evening?
Nah. Or not for me, at least.
Okay. Everyone go ahead and make a perception check.
Ellis will not make perception because Ellis is passed out on table.
DM like Ellis talk.
What?
I was saying Ellis passed out on table. I said DM like Ellis talk.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Okay. Eva, Tizio, Perry, the three of you, I would say, if you guys kind of loiter around, finish up your meals and dinners for the night, sure. You would all see that Floon, maybe about, let's see, it's about 9 o'clock at night, about 10 o'clock or so at night. You guys aren't anywhere near closing yet. Floon says something to Kelso, and then over to Vanessa, and then he takes his apron off, and then he leaves.
Like, in a rush or casually?
Make an insight check. You get an insight check, and you get an insight check.
Oh, I meant, I'm sorry, him leaving.
Yeah, I know. Make an insight check to see if it looked like he was rushing. You're not sure. Eva, it looked like he was trying to make a beeline for the door.
And I don't notice this, right?
Well, he gave you bountiful luck to reroll, so reroll your perception check.
Good.
Yeah, I'd say you notice. You notice him talking to Kelso and Vanessa and then leave. You don't, unless Eva chimes in and says he looked like he was in a hurry.
Can I bat him, if possible?
I'm gonna follow him.
If that works.
Y'all are so untrusting of Floon.
He's an aberration who goes and runs into a shack every night. What are you talking about?
Has he shown any aggression here? Exactly.
I'm gonna follow him anyway. I'm already at the door.
Sure.
Yeah, same here.
You're both following him. Okay. Quietly?
I will quietly. Yeah, I was planning on going invisible, but if Tizio is following, then I'm gonna first just see if we get eyes on him.
Okay. Make perception checks as you guys rush out.
Okay.
Wait, go ahead. Okay.
Floon was listening to our conversation with Raynar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna when I get a chance, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna activate my infiltrator suit.
Okay. Okay. So, I would say Tizio, as you guys kind of rush out and Eva's looking around, you guys would notice that Floon darted towards the southern entrance on Delzoran Street, just barely. Kind of catch a glimpse of him. It's dark, it's late, but you do see him hook towards the high road. It looked like.
Keep chasing after him.
Okay.
Try and leave enough distance that we're not super obvious, but we'd stay close enough that we don't lose him.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check then, because you guys are trying to be discreet. All right. Okay. So you watch as he makes a beeline towards the high road, and then he starts walking down the street. Now, even though it's super late at night, the high road is still, it's not packed, but it's busy with commotions. You do notice that there are, it's like a 4-lane road, basically. It's like 2 going north, 2 going south, and then you have these like 5 to 8 foot wide walking sidewalks on each side. It's a really large road. And you can see that he's kind of weaving in between the people. It's like walking in, in Manhattan at like 11:30 at night, where there's still just enough people to weave through. And you can see at one point, as he's walking further south towards the castle ward, it seems, you watch as he kind of waits at the corner, and then, or not at the corner, but he just kind of waits and then starts jaywalking across right in front of uh, this really long carriage that comes by, and then as he crosses over, as you guys wait for that carriage to cross over, you don't see him anymore on the other side. He did like the vanishing behind the bus thing.
And it was like a in the open, essentially.
Well,
Not
yeah,
like
I mean,
a.
you guys were trailing like, how 40, 50 feet behind or whatever, trying to keep up with him, and you get the sense that he saw you, Eva, and then that's why he immediately cut across the street, basically jumping in front of a carriage, and then he just disappeared. You lost sight of him.
Damn. Well, not gonna find him now.
Well, I mean, you could go somewhere he might be going.
Yeah, is there any in the direction we're heading to, like any, big points of interest or anything like that?
In that direction, I'd say you guys were traveling down the high road for maybe about 10 minutes or so, when you noticed that he was like, every now and then looking behind him, and then like you could barely make out that he recognized you guys, or at least recognized somebody, and that's why he made such an abrupt, like, for lack of a better word, escape plan. But the best you would recall for this area would be that, like, it was in the direction that he went the last time you guys followed him, but he stopped abruptly, and it seems that the carriage that, I don't know, you don't know where he went. Yeah.
What do you think, Tizio? If he knows we're behind him, I don't think he's gonna lead us anywhere interesting.
That's true, but he has to go somewhere sometime. Like he's just not going to go around in circles all night.
Might just go back to that shack and follow him inside now.
Well, if we're gonna go to the shack, maybe we should get the others and go all together versus just two.
That's my thinking.
All right. And Tizio will start heading back.
Okay.
Yep.
Easy enough to do. Shortly after, you guys, maybe about 20 or so minutes, you guys have been kind of chilling around the tavern. You see Eva and Tizio pop back up.
You lose them?
He knew we were behind him.
Hmm. What now?
Well, last offer, I can go try and capture a nimble, right?
Well, I'd say we have about half an hour until the nobles know what we know. So action may be in our best interest.
Is anyone else still down?
What do you mean down?
I mean, is everyone else still in the room? I guess Ellis is currently sleeping on the table. Is everyone else still in the room, or have they gone up?
I don't know. It's up to everyone. What were you guys doing?
Say Perry was still just chilling at the bar.
I think we need to. I think we need to do something.
Go to bed first, and then.
No, I don't think we have time for that.
You're saying we should go to the shack or what?
I
Just
think
go
we
to
need
the-
to
go-
do.
go to the manor?
I think we need to do something, either the manor or the shack. But if my suspicion is right, we have minutes before the nobles know what we know, and the Nimblewright disappears potentially, and the guards
Yeah.
attack us or something because they accuse
Yeah, I
us of
feel
some
we should-
crime.
I feel we should go to the manor.
I don't know how we're all going to get in the manor, unless someone has a better plan than mine.
Well, I know Firebolt.
If the objective is to avoid the negative attention of the guards, I don't know if attacking a noble manor is the best way to go about that.
Well, okay. We need to do something, I think, in the next couple minutes. Flute heard everything we said to Raynar, and then he magically disappears for unknown reasons. And breaks a tail of supposed allies.
Give me the bag, I can try what I said, and if something goes wrong, I can message you.
Okay. So we're going to the manor then?
Sure.
Okay. So who's all going?
Perry won't let his friends go alone.
Do you guys wake up Ellis?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna try to snap Ellis out.
Yeah,
Or,
Ava,
you know,
Ava
wake
would
him
try
up.
to wake up Ellis.
Okay.
But just pour a cup of water on him.
Ellis, you are covered in water.
Hey, oh, what's going on? Ellis was in the middle of his nap.
We're gonna go try to get a nimble right. We might need you to hit things.
Ah, fine, you've convinced me. But honestly, guys, this day is dragging on forever.
Can I scribble a little note to Raynar and try to get my bat to deliver it to his house?
Do you know where Raynar lives?
No idea. That's why I asked. I
But
feel
maybe
like
the
we
bat
don't.
I thought, I thought we followed him or something like that once, didn't we? Or dropped him off or something like that?
We tried to follow him once, and then he caught us, and it's just like, nah.
We're really bad at following people.
Well, okay. I guess Raynar doesn't get to know what's happening.
How unfortunate. He's hoping that you guys heeded his advice and did nothing.
Well, our advice is kind of his advice is kind of
Dilemma.
Outdated.
So, what's the plan?
Hey, but how do you account for the dogs?
So the plan right now is we're looking at just following Floon again, right?
No, Floon's gone.
Oh,
We have to do something. Because I'm pretty sure Floon is about to tell the nobles who we think did all the badness.
I think I can get the guard to take care of the dogs. If this isn't going to work, I think it'll fail at the gate.
Okay, that seems fine. Yeah, let's go then. We don't have a lot of time if I'm right, and if I'm wrong, then there's nothing lost.
Okay. So you all rush to get your things together, and you hurry back off towards Gralhund Villa. The hour is late. It's creeping well past almost 11 o'clock or so, midnight. Yeah, it's pretty late. As you guys dart
better
through
hope
the
we
city
won't
streets.
run into anything.
Say again?
So better hope we don't run into anything because we're running on fumes. I have no
I
spell
was gonna say,
slots.
Oh yeah,
Like-
yeah, no, I've not.
All of this is a terrible idea.
On this plan.
I mean, we could
Everyone
go to
just start
bed,
rolling
but I
backup characters
suspect when
now.
we wake up, things will not be too good for us.
Risk it. No, super distrustful of Floon. He's done nothing wrong.
Well,
Maybe an aberration, but aberration doesn't necessarily mean evil.
Well, now we have a lot of reason to distrust Floon.
Yeah, which is why we're also not going after Floon. We're going after the other guys.
I mean, like, over the table, I'm going to try to use suggestion on the guard and convince him that he needs to help us get this innocent creature back. I'm going to have him basically try and clear a path and lead an invisible Ava with a bag to the Nimblewright and put the Nimblewright in the bag. I think if the plan fails, it fails at the gate.
So you can't suggest people and be invisible. It just doesn't.
Casting the spell will break invisibility.
Oh.
But you
Well,
knew
it's
that.
more that you can't concentrate on two things.
That too.
I did know that.
What is-
Charm.
If
Charm person is non-concentration though.
Also, if you can get a suggestion, then you could just have him take
Or I
us
could
all
have
inside.
him. Yeah.
You saw them. Are you able to disguise self?
Oh, yeah, I could disguise self as one of them.
I like that too. I mean, the
Um,
invisibility just makes it a little bit easier. I don't think it ruins the plan if the guard's helping.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think the invisibility would help with the dogs.
No, I was going to talk. I'm going to try to word the suggestion so that the guard becomes a collaborator and just puts the dogs away.
Yeah, of course, but
Unless Eva's too fast for the dogs to catch her scent or
mean-
anything like that.
yeah, but,
Yeah, with invisibility, that is.
I mean, we don't have to do anything, but just over the table, I have this, yeah. Stuff's gonna be bad in the morning, I feel like.
I like this plan equally well. I think we can try to suggest and make the guard a collaborator still and get the dogs out of the way so scent's not a problem. Dallin can disguise self as the guard and just walk in there.
Or as one of the, or as one of the livers at the house.
Ooh, yeah, or as one of the nobles.
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not an actor, so I can't really replicate their voice. But
I feel like you just glare at them and it'd probably work.
that's true.
Or grunts.
I'm sure they're not having formal casual conversation regularly. So.
Definitely.
Okay, so what's the plan, boys?
I feel like we at least talk to the guard.
Worst case scenario, suggestion doesn't like he makes the save and then the whole thing's 100 times harder. Or if suggestion works, he fails to save, we can talk to him first and learn more about like how many other guards are there, is everyone going to be awake, etc.
So what would your suggestion be?
It suggests a course or activity limited to a sentence or two. I'm basically going to say something along the lines of, there's an innocent creature trapped in the house, and you need to help us free it, which I think comes across as reasonable, and therefore, right, we've got a shot at him failing to save.
Yeah, that's a pretty good suggestion because that's a long duration too, so it wouldn't instantly expire.
Yeah, I've got him for 8 hours.
As long
if
as
I keep concentration.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't fulfill his action.
Yes, and I think I'm going to word it as like you have to help us get him all the way out. Right? Like it's not like when we get there suddenly he's fulfilled it.
I just, over the table suggestion crafting. I mean, if this is what we want to do, I don't want to force it, but my gut kind of says we're kind of in trouble.
I agree. I think it's worth a shot to do something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no matter which route we go for, there's always gonna be a con to it, a big con.
There's really no reason for Floon to shake a tail of people that he supposedly employ him and are friendly to him.
Okay. So we're heading over to the house?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
Do you want me to disguise?
So it's either that or just tell him. So it's either risk you going in or it's risk giving him the bag and ask him to do it.
Well, we're not giving him the bag. Sorry.
Risking Thalum it is.
Well, why can't we all go?
You can't all
the
fit
man
in the
with
bag.
the lowest
No, we don't
AC
all want
and
to be.
HP.
We don't want to all be in the bag. What I'm
Okay.
saying is, why don't we just suggest to the guard he just bring us all in to help rescue the innocent guy?
Let's figure out if there's another guard. The idea is then if we run into someone else, it's going to be more than a little suspicious.
Can we tell him to escort us to the Nimble? But I guess that also relies on him knowing about him.
I just want to know if I should be disguised as a noble or we're just going in.
Well, either way, we can do that after we.
True.
I think we have him help us make the plan.
Okay.
Because he'll know. He'll know if there are other guards inside, right? He'll know if he'll know what room it's likely to be in. He'll know, or at least he has a better chance of knowing than we do.
I really don't think. I mean, even with suggestion, I don't know if he would divulge all of that information. It's a lot.
That's fair.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Bad.
I'm loving all of this, by the way. Alright, so you guys are here. As you dart your way out across from Trollskull Alley, making a direct straight shot over to the Greyland Villa. The few horses and carriages that trot past, they don't bother you as much. No one pays you any mind. There's a few citizens that seem to be out and about in this area, just either maybe sitting out on the porch enjoying a late evening nightcap or talking amongst themselves at some small vendors that might be peppered throughout the North Ward at this hour. You make your way over to the familiar gate of Greylon Villa. And let's see if I can show you a layout. This map sucks, but it is what it is. Let me know when you can see it.
It's black.
Go down. It's a big map.
Gotcha.
Who's that guy?
That's the guard.
Oh.
I update tokens. You guys are way ahead of me, but this is fun. So,
We can go back and go to bed.
nope.
Nope.
So, as you all kind of crouch up and around, now, mind you, the street is not.
Oh, there's no snapping. Okay.
Yeah, because the map is gay. But the grids, the squares themselves are, actually 5 feet. So,
Yeah.
Allegedly.
anyway. So as you guys are on Saradoon Street, looking out through this gate into the interior, you can see the lavish green trees that are dotted throughout the open courtyard here. You can see in the distance the lone torch that stands against the building side, where you see that there's a singular guard. Excuse me, the singular guard just standing watch outside. The street surrounding you guys is still lit. There are homes near you guys, just so you're aware. What are you guys doing?
Okay, so Thalam, I'm now leaning towards you disguising as the noble lord, and having the suggestion be that he needs to take you to the nimble right, say that you've instructed him to do so, and then lead you back out, and hope that he can talk for you.
I don't know if I want to go solo into this house and have to pretend to be a noble who might be in his bedroom. This seems like a plan that results in bad things for me.
What about you, Calarian? You're way tougher than Talum here.
Sorry, I'm lost.
Could Calarian
But
disguise himself?
if anyone other than this one guy we've suggested to sees any of the rest of us, it's an immediate red flag.
Yeah, but I don't think the red flag matters anymore. I'm pretty sure we're about to...
I need everybody to roll a stealth check as you guys bicker amongst yourselves in the street.
Man.
And there we go.
Ava, you can get your nat 1 reroll if you want.
What happened to my...
Yeah.
Okay. Stealth check.
Okay. Proceed.
Also, I am at disadvantage because I'm drunk.
That's gone. You guys have been You guys talked for like 35 minutes before you left the house. It's like way past midnight.
Dang it.
That was 35 minutes of talking.
You guys spent a long time planning,
Lack thereof.
and then traveling to here. It's been about 30 minutes.
So, yeah, okay.
Well, now I'm just mad.
Sorry.
Okay.
Cut our losses and leave, because this is so gonna blow up in our face.
It's gonna blow up in our face in the morning anyway.
Says you.
You can see Talum. So the window, the balcony thing that you saw, it's right above here. It's not on this part of the map because it's actually I have to reveal it. If you scroll up on the map, you'll see it. It is an actual balcony, not a window, so I apologize.
Sure.
But this balcony area is right above, essentially here, or something to that effect. The map's not the greatest. Yeah, it's right above there.
Okay, so Calarian is voting against. Ava and Thalum are voting for, but they don't seem to agree on what they're voting for. Perry and Ellis.
Sorry, I had to go do something quick. What are we voting on?
Calarian wants to leave.
We're here. I mean, we might as well just keep going.
I love it.
I could disguise myself as Raynar and demand to talk to them. That might at least get us past the guard. And once we're inside, we might have to do more things than just talk.
Can you disguise yourself as the city watch guy? I forgot his name. Like that you have a warrant or something?
Do I have a warrant?
You do
Well,
not.
you know, like yeah, like we don't have to. You can just wave a piece of paper or something. You know, come up with another excuse or something.
Most people demand to see the piece of paper.
I feel like I could suggest to the guard that, right, you have a warrant.
Sure.
No one else is going to believe it.
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
just go the old-fashioned, just sneak on in.
So this balcony overhangs the wall?
So this entirety wall thing surrounds the entire complex, right? And then inside the courtyard itself, where it's an open courtyard, then there's this this tree here. These are trees. Then there's like a balcony that's like here. So like one tree is obviously not as tall as the balcony is. Like the way the map is a little weird, but this is a doorway that you can see on the ground level, and then there's this doorway up here, which was what you entered into. Yeah, that's the master bedroom that you went into. So actually, I will reveal that for you because you saw it.
I mean, since we can't come up with a plan that's any good, and I'm sure most of the party would not be fine with murdering everyone here, except maybe me.
There.
I am fine with leaving on the condition that we do not sleep in the inn tonight.
Oh, let's go to the portal then.
I don't want to leave, but since nobody can come up with an idea that doesn't necessarily seem good, I will concede to leaving and sleeping not at our house. But I will not be returning to Troll Skull.
So be it.
The rest is up to the party.
We came this far, but so be it.
Hey, you guys told me if I came out, I was gonna punch something. And now I'm not drunk, and I'm not asleep, so
I
wanna
did not
punch
say it.
something. So, if I'm not gonna punch something in there, you guys are gonna have to let me punch one of you.
No.
Tell him.
Sounds fair to me.
Talon's the one that doesn't want to go in there alone, disguised as a noble, and see what happens.
So what's the plan, guys? You can see now that that one guard that was standing there, he goes inside the doorway that's directly to his right. He's gone for about maybe 30 seconds, and then another guard takes his place. This time, a more stockier dwarven male now stands before you, just peering out into the yard.
Leaving?
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody wants.
Going in woefully unprepared, we don't know what's going to find in there. For all we know, there's going to be a whole bunch of creatures of the abyss.
Maybe. But, okay.
Okay, so you guys are not proceeding. Where are you guys going?
Sounds like the yawning portal.
Guess that's fine.
All right. So, having second thoughts, a little bit of doubt, you guys back off from the villa, and in the dead of night, you start making your way all the way down to the castle ward and over to the yawning portal. You're able to enter inside the familiar warm interior, find it quite quiet and uneventful. You don't see Durnan at the moment. I believe it's all the way down here. You don't see Durnan at the moment. You do see one middle-aged man just currently tending to the bar itself, and he goes, "Good day, or evening, I should say. Is there anything I could do for you?"
Need a room.
Just the
Or a
one.
couple rooms.
Couple. How many in total?
6.
Oh, let me see
We
if
all
I
need
got
our own room?
6 available.
Why did I say 6 individual rooms?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have 6 rooms available. We're a little stocked up. I got 4 for you. Might have to double up a little bit.
Fine.
Dibs on.
All right.
Dibs on doubling up.
So let's see here. Price of 4 rooms.
How many beds are in a room? Can't we just share for a night?
The rooms have like 2 beds in it, so you could essentially double up, but yeah.
Are they double size?
They're
Are they queen size beds or something? Or
No, they're double, like 2 twin beds.
oh, so there'd be some spooning involved.
No, there are multiple beds
There,
separated. Like, what?
there are 2 twin beds in each room, so that's 8 beds.
Oh.
Yep,
Like you
still
could
spooning.
spoon someone if you.
As far as I'm concerned, we'll still be all spooning each other.
Well, you say doubling up, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Not on the same bed.
doubling up on the bed.
if that's how you want to play it, sure. So this would cost
One
you
bed's for the equipment, and the others for the people.
I have a feeling Ellis sleep fights.
This will cost you about 3 gold and 4 silver for the 4 rooms for the night.
Sure, I'll pay it since I demanded we come here.
Oh, okay.
But you hand over the 3 gold, and the gentleman here across the bar hands you over the 4 sets of keys, and he just points you up in the direction where they are, up the spiral staircase all the way up to the 3rd floor, and all the way at the end of the hall, right next to the communal washroom that's there. But you have the rooms to yourselves, however you see fit with them. Is there anything you guys wish to do before bedding down?
I cast alarm and go to bed.
Oh, okay. Anybody doing anything else?
I'll take my armor off.
Sounds like a normal thing to do.
Harry's just going to bed.
I'll do it.
Okay, so as you all find your respective rooms and sort out your arrangements how you see fit, you all bed down for the evening. And that's where we'll end the session for tonight. Yeah, go ahead.
Quick question for the DM. Because I believe I may or may not still have been within the mile of the alliance spell that I did at the City of the Dead. Any sort of activity or anything like that?
If there was, I would have told you.
Okay, no, just want to be sure.
It's fun. I'll tell you why it worked tomorrow, but it's funny.
Okay.
But other than that, You guys will complete a short rest or a long rest for the evening.
Got just a short rest.
Just a short rest only. You're gonna fight another troll downstairs. But that is where we
Well,
will.
I feel we could take
Go
it
ahead.
at this point. Because this point we could probably fight a troll.
Sure. But that's where we'll wrap up for tonight's session. A lot of suspense, a lot of last minute decisions, I guess.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Hopefully,
Eh.
hopefully everything
Oh,
works out in your
alright.
favor.
Good session, you guys. Catch you next. Catch you later.
Thank you for playing, Ellis.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Yo-wah.
Cheers, on.
See you guys.
Have a good night, everyone. And thank all of you for watching. We appreciate it. We'll be on next Sunday at 7.